right now. Thank you very much. And let's get our opening music. It's a very classy show. I want you to know. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on Facebook, and we're waiting. Okay, here we go. Here's the real music. Dance with me, Lexi. Happy birthday. Your day, not mine, not hers. Somebody's. We're going to talk about them. Shine. Smile. Such style. Gotta bring my drumsticks in next time. I want to thank the Suno Orchestra for that wonderful introduction. I'm Bonnie D, and I'm here with the wonderful Lexi R. She's my guest co-host today. And Lexi, I'm going to give you 2 sentences to introduce yourself, and then we're going to get started. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I live in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I love being out in the water, and I'm a creative wellness coach. So lots of fun being creative with all my lovely ladies out there.
And you're also a prolific artist. Just tell everybody what kinds of art you do. I've seen your work.
Okay, well, now I'm into painting beautiful sunsets of where I've been paddling around Vancouver Island, especially up around Nootka Sound. So that's where I was, and I ran into my famous wolf, aka
Okay.
Fireball. So good times.
Good. Well, welcome, Lexi. Let me do my opening here. Pop the confetti, light the candles fast, not near the computer. It's happy birthday to you, and we hope it's a blast. Bonnie D on her Scarlet mic and co-host Lexi R2. Wave hello. Dishing celebration gold. We hope you get gold for your birthday with a fun point of view. From icons on the screen to social stars who soar. One way or the other. We'll share what they're known for and maybe their pre-fame lore. Wacky holidays you've never heard before. I'm doing the or rhyming scheme here. Wacky holidays you never heard before, plus music milestones you're bound to adore. We've got candles and sparklers in the other room, frosting on the cake, a delicious blend only Lexi and I could bake. Chocolate or vanilla, Lexi? I didn't ask you.
Chocolate all the time.
Definitely. Okay, I'll share it with you. So buckle up, darlings. A fun show's in store. HB2U is lighting up September 15th. Is it really September 15th? Okay, with glam, bam, and more. Somebody wanted to know. I'm the glam, you can be the bam, and we'll get somebody for
Bam.
more.
Okay.
Okay, let's get this started. I'll start off. We're going to take turns reading. We're starting with events in music history. 1940, well, way before any of us. Rock and roller Jimmy Gilmer. Anybody remember Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs? You just mentioned
I
Fireball.
know.
Is born in Chicago. He was known for the 1963 hit Sugar Shack. I sort of remember that. You go to the next one, Lexi. Who have you got?
All right. 1962, the Four Seasons song Sherry hits #1 for the first of 5 weeks.
Do you remember that Sherry, Sherry baby? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, I remember that. That's when they could all listen and hear and sing on key. There we go. Long story. 1965. This is interesting. This is a real date in music history. Ford, the car manufacturer, offered factory-installed 8-track tape players in the Mustang, the Thunderbird, and the Lincoln cars. Those were probably considered the high-end parts of their range in those days, 1965. This marks the first time 8-track players are widely available, but you could only get the tapes, Lexi, in auto parts stores or at Ford dealers. Nobody had them. The record stores didn't have them. However, the 8-track players had a tendency to get hungry and chew up the tapes and mangle the tape inside the player. So there was something called 8-track roadkill. Drivers were throwing the tangled tapes out the car windows. Can you imagine driving over? Never mind. It must have been the plastic to hold the tape together. And, when you're trying to spindle it with the pencil.
I'm sure the raccoons were confused by that.
I'm sure they were. They're playing my song. Whoops. Okay. Sorry, that was crude. Okay, you've got the next one.
All right, 1973, Helen Reddy's Delta Dawn hits #1 in America, where it stays for a whole 1 week.
Remember that Delta Dawn, da 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 da, something like that. I don't.
Well, that was
sing
a
well.
year before I was born.
Oh my
So
goodness. Well, I
I
heard
know.
about the song. We'll leave that one alone. 1983, we're moving ahead a decade. Huey Lewis and the News released the album called Sports. It sold over 7 million copies. 7 million copies. This is 1983. So we are now in 2025 plus 17, 42 years ago. Hard to believe. HTB. It included 5 singles. Many of you who are Huey Lewis and the News fans will understand and know these. I Want a New Drug, Walking on a Thin Line, The Heart of Rock and Roll. I know that song. Heart and Soul, and If This Is It. 5 top selling singles on one album. Wow. Okay, Lexi.
I always think of Helios in the News with the Back to the Future soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's scary to think it's that long ago.
I know. It's scary to think a lot of things are that long ago. Go ahead.
All right, 1993, Steamboat Springs, Colorado names their James Brown Soul Center of the Universe Bridge after the famous singer.
Well, he deserved that. In 2003, we are jumping ahead by decades here. Okay, Madonna's first children's book. I didn't know she wrote children's books. It's called The English Roses. It's published in 42 languages in over 100 countries. That is a wow. It was released by Callaway Editions and the Penguin Group in association with publishers all over the world. And it was known as the largest simultaneous worldwide release of a book in history. I don't know if anything has surpassed that, but did you know she wrote a book that was translated to 42 languages,
I
Lexi?
knew she wrote a children's book, but I didn't realize it went that broad.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
gonna have
guess
to
that
get a
name carries a
copy.
lot of weight, I think, probably.
Absolutely. Even over the years. Well, she's still very famous. And you've
Oh,
got
yeah.
one more for us. Who've you
I
got?
do. So 2014, again, jumping closer to present day, Barbara Streisand appears on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, performing selections from her duets album, with Jimmy singing the parts of her duet partners. And this marks her first late night interview since 1967 when she appeared on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. So, nice little parallel there with the two Tonight
Wow,
shows.
we're gonna have to get a little shout out to. Okay, we're gonna have to get one more. There, that's a woman saying, in addition to that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so much for that. Let's go to our famous birthdays today. I'll start off with celebrity. You all know him because he's in the news for, I'll just say, various reasons. And even this past week, Prince Harry is 41. He's the younger son of England's King Charles III and the late Princess Diana. Sigh. And fifth in line to become monarch of the Commonwealth Realms, it's called. He launched the Invictus Games in 2014, and he donates to other organizations around the world. After finishing his studies at Eton, in 2003, he spent a gap year in Australia, and he worked on a cattle station. And we all know him because, my goodness, in 2018, what did he do? He married an American actress, Meghan Markle, and the story goes on and on. She has her own TV show now. Have you watched her TV show?
I have not. I liked Suits, but that's about as far as I went with Meghan Markle.
Well, I'll tell you that she does. She has a beautiful kitchen and she invites people she knows into her kitchen one at a time. And she makes things like how to cook spaghetti in a large pan, not a pot, a large pan with vegetables and other things either on top of or underneath it. I didn't watch that closely, with water over the whole thing, and the spaghetti cooks with the vegetables, so it's a
Oh,
one dish.
it's a casserole thing then.
But it's
Yeah.
on top of the stove with
Yeah.
what, yeah, similar to
Yeah.
that. And
Okay.
she makes cakes and she tells you how she collects the honey from her bees. She has beehives and she it's very interesting. It's very gentle and it's called something like With Love, Megan. And it's not bad. I had nothing to watch
Okay.
about 2 weeks ago and I watched 2 episodes. That's it. Nobody say anything, please. You've got the next birthday. Who is it?
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones, age 79.
What?
I know. So he's an actor who won the Best Supporting Academy Award for his role as U.S. Marshal Samuel Gerald in The Fugitive back in 1993.
Mm.
He's also known for playing Agent K in the film franchise Men in Black and Colonel Chester Phillips in the 2011 film Captain America First Avenger. And he's done a number of other roles: Coal Miner's Diner, Daughter, The Volcano, Batman Forever, No Country for Old Men, and Jason Bourne. I didn't know he also was a soap opera star. And on TV, he portrayed Dr. Mark Toland on the ABC soap opera One Life to Live. He also portrayed Howard Hughes in the CBS film The Amazing Howard Hughes. So, interesting range of talent there.
Totally. And I remember him on One Life to Live. I think I remember, I don't know what year, it was 1971 to 75. I was somewhere and I was must have been watching some kind of soap operas, Lexi. And I remember a young, very good looking, and very dynamic, very serious
He'd be
actor,
very intense. Very intense.
Tommy Lee
Yeah.
Jones. And I remember him. And then all of a sudden he starts in movies and he's on other TV shows. And I said, I remember him. So I looked up, I had to Wikipedia him to find, because in the famous people, it didn't mention that he was on a soap opera. I searched that out. I sniffed that out. So here we go. It's also the birthday, age 54 today, of Josh Charles. You may not know his name, but he's been in a lot of interesting film and TV and theater. He played Dan Rydell on Aaron Sorkin's Sports Night, but I remember him as the attorney Will Gardner on the TV show on CBS, The Good Wife with Juliana Margulies. I liked him a lot in that show. I don't remember whether they had a thing or not. He played Iggy in the 1988 film Hairspray. He starred with Robin Williams in the 1989 film Dead Poets Society, and he also portrayed Agent Barker. Get this, in the 1999 film Muppets from Space. He also, I don't know how he managed this, Lexi, but he appeared in Taylor Swift's music video for Fortnite in 2024. I can't imagine a serious actor doing that, but we'll find out. We'll do an update. Okay, you've got one more.
All right. So, age 35, Megan Stalter. She's a comedian and actress who rose to fame through sketch comedy videos she posted to her TikTok account, which has over 210,000 followers and over 4 point, well, basically 5 million likes now. The original characters are often desperate and deluded. She plays the manic PR agent Kyla in the HBO Max series Hacks with Jean Smart and Hannah Einbinder. She also stars in the Lena Dunham show Too Much. So during the pandemic, she improvised as different characters on nightly Instagram live shows.
Let's get some applause for all of these famous birthdays. Thank you very much. All right, audience, quiet down. I will tell you that Megan Stalter, by the way, last night at the Emmy Awards, Hacks lead actress Jean Smart, brilliant actress who plays an, shall we just say, an older comedian, won again for Best Actress in a Comedy Show, and Hannah Einbinder, her co-star, won as Best Supporting Actress. That was a shock for Hannah Einbinder, who made a very political, accepted speech that people didn't like. Anyway, my point is that Megan Stalter is in Hacks, and she plays an off the charts, off the rails PR agent who is trying to get gigs for Jean Smart's character. And Megan Stalter has such an energy, Lexi. She's literally off the rails. And when she debuted in Too Much, I watched it and it was a little too much off the rails for me. Too many F-bombs. Mama has to draw the line somewhere. So there you go. But happy birthday to all of them. I wish her great luck. And Josh Charles, wonderful to know you have a birthday. Tommy Lee Jones, are you really 79? And Prince Harry, hats off to you, kid. I don't think they wear hats anymore. And let's go to In Memoriam. We have two big names in Memoriam today. Agatha Christie, who lived from 1890, born on this day in 1890, to 1976, passed away at 85. Her full name is Dame Agatha Mary Clarissa Christie, Lady Malawan. She was an English author known for 66 detective novels. That's prolific, wouldn't you say, Lexi?
Definitely.
14 short story
Considering she had to
collections.
type them by hand
I know they
or
didn't.
before typing, even,
That's right.
honestly.
And she passed away in 76. I don't know. Do we even have email and all that? Well, she must have been. She was in her 80s. Who knows? Particularly stories revolving around fictional detectives Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple. Those of you who follow Miss Marple on PBS or wherever their shows are, you may know that Agatha Christie wrote those. She's widely regarded as one of the greatest writers in the mystery genre. A writer during the golden age of detective fiction, she's been called the Queen of Crime, a trick nickname that was trademarked by her estate. She's also called the Queen of Mystery. She wrote the world's longest running play, The Murder Mystery, The Mousetrap, has been performed at the West End of London since 1952. They didn't say longest running like how many hours on stage. It's just been playing for that many years. She wrote 6 novels under the pseudonym, as if the 66 novels weren't enough, Mary Westmacott. In 1971, she was made a Dame, DBE, by Queen Elizabeth II for her contributions to literature. We should all be so lucky to be knighted or damed. I have a show called Two Saucy Dames. You were on that.
I was.
You've been damed by me. She is not dame. She is the best-selling fiction author of all time. She has sold over 2 billion copies of her novels, according to We cannot refute this, the Guinness Book of World Records. Many of her popular novels were made into films and TV shows. Are you a fan of Agatha Christie, Lexi?
I've read quite a few of hers, and they always seem to be in cottages, right? If you were in a
Yes.
cottage, there had to be, an Agatha Christie.
There
So
you
it was kind of just part and parcel of a summer vacation growing up. Yeah.
go. Go ahead. You've got the next one.
All right. Well, here's a name that we all know, but we may not know much about him. But Marco Polo, born born this day in 1254 to 1324. So he was 69 when he passed away, but he was a man of many talents. He was a Venetian merchant, explorer, and writer. So he traveled through Asia along the Silk Road between 1271 and 1295. He is also, as we all know, a namesake of a swimming pool game that's banned,
Marco Polo,
which is
right?
banned in most places.
Okay.
At least it always says on the pool rules, no Marco
Now
Polo.
Marco Polo.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he was the first European to keep a detailed journal of his experiences in China, and his writings became points of inspiration of Christopher Columbus. So his
Hmm.
travels were recorded in the Travels of Marco Polo, also known as the Book of Marvels of the World. And this is a book that described the then mysterious culture and inner workings of the Eastern world, including the wealth and size of the great Mongolian Empire and China under the Yuan dynasty. So this gave Europeans their first comprehensive look into China, Persia, India, Japan, and many other Asian societies, which, up until then had never been shared before. So,
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Let's give them another round of applause here. Let me get this started. That's the audience is tired. That was just a little bit of an applause there. But Dame Agatha Christie and Marco Polo, we applaud you and thank you for being alive. I'm allowed to say that. Let's go to the social media stars. We have a young man named Bo Brown. He's 33 today. He is known for being one of the tallest people on YouTube. He's 7 feet 1 inches tall. I would have to look up to him. I'm about 5'1". How tall are you, Lexi?
5'4"?
Oh,
Not that tall.
you used to be looking up to him. He has 1 million subscribers and 392 million plus views on YouTube. He's a star and creator of the 7 Foot Vlogs channel. How appropriate. He posts challenge videos and random vlogs. I don't know what a random vlog is. And his Big Bo Instagram account is also photos of him with his dog. He became one of the tallest vloggers on YouTube. How about that? Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, over to TikTok with Mark Tilbury, age 57, and he's got over 7 million followers. So he is an English self made millionaire who posts content about business, personal finance, and investing. He loves cars and traveling. And one of his most popular TikToks is about how cheap his clothing is, and that got over 20 million views. And a little interesting backstory, he left school at 16 with no qualifications, and his first job was making wooden trash cans for less than $2 per hour. So not bad
That's
for a self-made millionaire.
not at all. So when he was 16 and now he's 57, so that's 41 years later, and he's a multimillionaire, self-made. I'd like to know what he was having for breakfast all those years. What kind of books he read. Maybe he was reading Agatha Christie and the cottages. Maybe never mind trash cans for wooden cottages. Okay, let's go to Instagram. We have a young lady named Summer, Sommer Ray. She is 29. Get this, Lexi. Are you sitting down? Looks like it. Summer Ray has 24 million plus followers on Instagram. She's a fitness model who posts her shows during her workouts. Okay, her popular shows post her workouts. Let's leave that alone. She's popular in TikTok as well. A lot of these people, Lexi, are on multiple platforms. That's how they get known across social spectrum here. She's popular in TikTok where she posts trendy dance and workout videos for 12 million fans. So if you take the 24 million from Insta and the 12 million from TikTok, she's got 36 million fans/followers. Could we only hope one day, Lexi?
Oh, I don't think I can dance that well or exercise that well to get that
Oh,
many followers.
we'll figure something out. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, and our last the roundup is looking at YouTube. So Jamel15, he's age 34 today. He's got over 14 million views, and he's a British YouTuber who has posts about soccer videos, pranks, challenges, and man on the street interviews.
So let's do a birthday shout. Let's do a laughter one for these people. We are smiling. We're not laughing at you, social media stars. We are smiling at your success. So we have Bo Brown with 392 million views. We have Mark Tilbury with 7 million followers and 20 million about his cheap clothes. We've got Summer Rae with 24 million on one platform and 12 on the other. We've got Jamel 15 with 14 million. I shudder to think how many this comes to for just four people. Can you even imagine? I'm just so blown away. I'm gonna have to put a hat on because it's National. It's on the other side of the desk. I can't reach it. National Make a Hat Day and National Felt Hat Day. I'm going to give you a little background and then Lexi will tell us more. In 3300 BC, that was the Bronze Age, kids. Hats trace their origins back to this time. A man's body was adorned by a hat, was found in the mountains connecting Italy and Australia. They found a hat on the man's head when they found his body. Over the centuries, hats have gone from way to protect the head from the elements and to style. But hats also express religious identity, they express status, they express, we know this now, political affiliation and style preferences. What first evolved as a necessity soon became a class symbol. Well, they have hats for what class you're in, too. Now, hats contribute toward a fashion statement. Lexi, tell us more.
So, very famous hat first started out in 1793, the creation appearance of the first silk top hat in England, and it's credited to a hatter, that's a profession, like the Mad Hatter, from Middlesex, George Dunnage. So most people know what a top hat is, but it is a tall, flat-crowned hat traditionally made of black silk, though they did also use beaver fur in the earlier part of the 19th century. I guess if you're having out in the wintertime, you wanted a warm hat.
Yes.
But yes, top hats appeared in English fashion as early as the 1780s. And during the increased industrial output that took place in Britain during the 19th century, that meant popular fashions, such as the top hat, were more accessible to the majority of the male population, including those lower on the social scale.
Ooh.
And it was remarked that the resemblance of the hat to the factory chimneys was so evocative, basically symbolizing the Industrial Revolution, that that was commented on by a pioneering fashion historian, James Laver. It's also interesting that many wealthy industrialists also wore top hats, and that helped turn them into a symbol of urban respectability. So the top hat remained the dominant form of headgear in British society for the next 100 years.
Wow, that brings us up to the late 1800s. But let's go to 4 years later after the one you just reported on, and we have a groundbreaking. We have a shriek instilling note on the front page article of the London Times. Everybody, I hope you're sitting down. Well, nobody watching right now, but everybody sit down anyway. English haberdasher John Hetherington caused a riot, Lexi, by wearing a top hat in public in London. Here's the report. He appeared on the public highway wearing upon his head what he called a silk hat, which was shiny luster and calculated to frighten timid people. That's a quote. And the officers of the crown stated that, quote, several women fainted at the unusual sight, while children screamed, dogs yelped, and a younger son of Cordwainer Thomas was thrown down by the crowd, which collected, and he had his right arm broken, unquote. Hetherington was arraigned by the Lord Mayor on a charge of breach of the peace. Wow. And inciting a riot. That's a lot. And he was required to post a bond of £500. In those days, not in current day, in those days, that would have been equivalent of $677.85 in US dollars. Can you imagine somebody being accused of inciting a riot, breaching the peace because of their hat today, Lexi? I can't.
I guess it all depends what's written on the hat.
Oh, I asked for that one. You've got the next one. Go.
All right. So 1812, the top hat is finally patented. So Londoner Thomas Francis Dolman patents a design for a travel-friendly, collapsible top hat.
Okay, in 1860s, we're moving ahead. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln is famous for wearing a tall black top hat. Apparently, he was 6'4", so it made him even taller. It was called a stovepipe hat, and it became his iconic sartorial. Well, that's your hair. All right, his haberdashery trademark. We'll leave it at that. You.
All right, 1934. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers immortalized the top hat with a screwball musical comedy called, appropriately, Top Hat.
And in 1983, it's believed to be the start of what we're celebrating today, Make a Hat Day. Creatively use colors, fabrics, and different sizes to make a hat that suits your personality and your clothes. And I will tell you, Lexi, years ago, when I lived on Long Island, through networking, I met a woman who hosted hat making events at her home on the South Shore of Long Island, not on the water, but on that part of Long Island. And I went to one of these. It was fascinating. And she gave us feathers and things. We were supposed to bring a bunch of things with us, feathers and sequins and flowers and bows and ribbons. And she had us make hats at this little
All right.
workshop in her, and you had to pay something like $25 to get in because she was giving you the material. I don't know if we had cell phone cameras in those days. I'm really dating myself on this one. It was fun and it was a little bit, shall I say in French, outre, a little bit out there. I
Okay.
wasn't sure. I said, I really want to be with these people, but the hat looks interesting. I think I made a hat. I have no idea where I put it, but we were making wacky hats. So that might have been in celebration of National Hat Day, you think? And now we have one more holiday to celebrate, and I picked this because you are an artist and I thought you would appreciate this. So
I
why don't you start?
totally did.
Good.
So, September 15th, 2003, the children's book author and illustrator Peter H. Reynolds released his book, The Dot. So, this is a story of a little girl named Vashti who felt like she couldn't draw, but her art teacher wouldn't accept that. She's like, just make a mark and see where it takes you, she said to Vashti. So Vashti marked her parchment paper with a small dot. And the next day, Vashti was surprised to find her paper with the dot up on the classroom wall. And she was so proud of her work that she started creating all kinds of drawings with different kinds of dots.
There you go. And 6 years later, September 15th, 2009, a teacher in Iowa named, I almost said Ottawa, thinking of you, Terry Shea, Shay, introduced the book, The Dot, to his classroom. This led to the observance of, he must have had a lot of clout, this guy, observance of International Dot Day every year on this date. The dot is currently celebrated in 192 countries. That's more countries than Madonna's book was pushed out to 100 by more than 19 million people. We're going to have to do this. You've got one more for us. What's this?
All right. Well, there's 2011. There's also a website by the name The Dot Club, which serves as a free resource for downloadable material and printouts, like an official certificate of participation. I don't know how you get a participation. I guess you just draw with dots and away you go.
I know. I think you have to buy their t-shirts and all that. And also, registrations for the observance of International Dot Day reached 17,500 that day throughout several U.S. states. In 2013, moving ahead 2 years, participation and involvement on International Dot Day peaked at 1.3 million in 84 countries. And you can go to thedotcentral.com/dot day collection or international.day.org. I think we need to get a round of applause before we close out this party. Let's do an applause. Here we go. Okay. Oh, it's just been absolutely wonderful. Lexi, let's close out this party. If you're having a birthday, anybody, tell me in the comments. Find me on YouTube. Find us everywhere. There we go. We're not starting again. We're just going to say happy birthday. Let's dance. We get a heart going here. There we go. Hear the hearts? Let's get some balloons. Balloons? No balloons.
Oh,
We got confetti.
There we go.
I think we get some fireworks.
I like that.
I know. We get the balloons now. We're back to confetti.
Oh, there's the balloons.
Ba-da-ba-ba. Hi, Social.